Hi folks, if you've not caught up, we're in John's Gospel at the moment. We're moving towards the cross and the resurrection of Jesus this Easter time. We're in John chapter 18, and I'm going to read from verse 28, just picking up where we left off yesterday. Then the Jewish leaders took Jesus from Caiaphas to the palace of the Roman governor. By now it was early morning, and to avoid ceremonial uncleanness, they did not enter the palace because they wanted to be able to eat the Passover. So Pilate came out to them and asked, "What charges are you bringing against this man? If he were not a criminal," they replied, "we would not have handed him over to you." Pilate said, "Take him yourselves and judge him by your own law." "But we have no right to execute anyone," they objected. This took place to fulfill what Jesus had said about the kind of death he was going to die. Pilate then went back inside the palace, summoned Jesus and asked him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" "Is that your own idea?" Jesus asked, "or did others talk to you about me?" "Am I a Jew?" Pilate replied. "Your own people and chief priests handed you over to me. What is it you have done?" Jesus said, "My kingdom is not of this world. If it were, my servants would fight to prevent my arrest by the Jewish leaders. But now my kingdom is from another place." "You are a king then," said Pilate. Jesus answered, "You say that I am a king. In fact, the reason I was born and came into the world is to testify to the truth. Everyone on the side of truth listens to me." "What is truth?" retorted Pilate. With this, he went out again to the Jews gathered there and said, "I find no basis for a charge against him. But it is your custom for me to release to you one prisoner at the time of the Passover. Do you want me to release the King of the Jews?" They shouted back, "No, not him. Give us Barabbas." Now Barabbas had taken part in an uprising. There's great irony in these final chapters of John's Gospel. John plays around with irony. And here we see the irony of sin. It's so ironic, isn't it? The leaders are so concerned about ceremonial uncleanness. They won't go into the palace of the Roman governor, of Pilate, because they don't want to be ceremonially unclean before they eat the Passover. And yet they're willing to see an innocent man murdered. And then the further twist of irony is that innocent man murdered is the Passover lamb, Jesus, the Lamb of God who takes away the sins of the world. And then you get the irony with the crowd. The crowd would rather see Barabbas released. He's a murderer. He's a terrorist, a rebel. They'd rather see him released than innocent Jesus.